Hi everyone, almost there. Well, it's loading, we got a joke last time. For the previous event, I did talk about using the MacBook to plug in my USB to play a PowerPoint, and I said like, who wants to do that, use Samsung then. Because I'm a big fan of Samsung, you can see by my laptop, by my phone. And then this time I don't want to bring my Samsung notebook in here because I don't want anything to happen or anything. But I'm still friends of Cool. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. So this is the first one. We are trying to help our buyers to try to help them grow. So in a nutshell, we spend at least a weekend. Some of them spend more than a weekend to try to get everything done for you. So hope you enjoy the event. Before I start, I would really like to say thanks to my team. I hope everyone enjoy it. Please give applause to them for all the credit. They did all the hard work. So let's start. So try to give you some background information. So same as yesterday, what I mentioned about like they want to grow, but in terms of what does that mean? That means they need financial support. So how can we do that? We try to create some business value for them from trying to understanding their donor database, their report of rescue database, and anything that we can bring in as an analyst to trying to create some value for them. So in a nutshell, everything in here is like a shopping list for color. Then if you like anything, take it and then say, I want to take it. And then we will take it offline and then talk about it. So for the first thing is by using a donor database, some basic or preliminary statistics we can find out. So some may surprise you, some may not. The first one will be distribution across different types. So you will have bequest, you will have appeal, you will have regular. So you will see like basically most of your donation is come from the top 3 types. But if we try to drill down deeper, some people will say, oh, most of the case will be 80-20. Is that really true? So we try to look into your appeal. Yes, 80% of your donation, talking about 3.1 million, is come from the 70% of the donor. So it's around 80-20. But it's not necessarily true for every single type. So we try to plot the regular. We will find out 80% of the donation, talking about 0.9 billion, is roughly come from the top 41%. How does that mean to you? So one way to interpret it is because people who donate regularly will be a static amount. So if people join you earlier, the pool will become bigger and bigger. So we can try to slice and dice the data to try to find out who are the high value donors from you. Here is trying to give you some ideas. So what kind of variables or what type of variables that you will be interested. With the one seasonal factor, you can see there will be a spike for the casual donor in June. So that makes very sense, right? Because everyone try to donate some money before the tax return. And also, for the regular one, the spike is not that serious, but you can see they're still dominated by female. That may happen to all charities. The majority of the cases, female like to donate more than male. Cool. And we also like, the way I try to prepare the deck for you is, on the right-hand side, everything that in here will tell you what does that mean to you in terms of business value, and in terms of a tangible thing that you can take away, there's a hardcore thing that's on the bottom. So what's the takeaway? We provide you a list of donors that have been being the top 20% in the past 10 years. So that means no matter what, they already engaged with you for 10 years with high value. No matter the donation amount is high or low, they still have a really good bonding with you that you would like to keep the bonding. Okay, the next one is, we try to do something fancy now. So in terms of the... okay, so in terms of... what does that mean? Okay, that's a lot fancy, just the color, okay? Browse, okay, cool, that's fancy thing. So what does that mean is, we try to understand the donor in a different angle. So we want to look up some basic information from the donor database and try to predict something that is fancy. First of all, the likelihood of churn. So for instance, if someone like to donate regularly every single month, if they haven't donated for 2 months, what does that mean to you? That means there is a risk for you to retain them, otherwise they will go. If they haven't donated to you for 3 months, then basically bye-bye, they won't come back. So what we are trying to do is, we try to find out the average duration for every donor, and then try to find out the distance between the last donation and today, and then try to find out the gap between. So for instance, for example, the previous example is, if I donate every single month, 30 days, if I haven't donated 60 days, that means the unit will be 2, 60 divided by 30. So we are trying to classify them with the likelihood of churn by low, medium, high, sorry, the camera. Low, medium, high, and very high. Low will be between 0 to 1, medium will be 1 to 2, high will be 2 to 3, very high will be anything above 3. So this graph is telling you roughly the distribution, and the other side of the angle is what does small and less mean. For us, we want to try to see in terms of Y's point of view, is the donor growing in terms of giving you more donation or is dying out? So we try to take the average for the first 3 donation versus the last 3. So in a nutshell, if they keep giving you more and more money, then the percentage should go up, right? So if they keep going up, we use 10% as a cutoff. If they got more and more, it will become more on the top bar. If they stay around like minus 10 to 10%, it will stay in the same. Anything below is less. So what does the big bar tell you? In here, we are trying to find out the strategy for every single segment. For instance, for those people that have low risk, they probably still stay with you, but does it mean like we can just stay there and leave them alone? Actually, no. We can identify certain donor in here. Actually, they donate you with a regular pattern, but they didn't set up like a routine, like a direct debit, or use a payment, like a standard payment way to do it. So what we are trying to suggest is, we provide you the list, and then you try to engage with them saying, actually you pay us regularly. Do you think about setting up a debit account or credit account which will help you a lot? So those kind of bonding will strengthen by doing some simple thing, and then it will reduce your risk of churn. For those people fall into medium or high with growing amount, then definitely they're giving you more, but they're likely to churn. Definitely you want to find out the reason behind and try to allocate the resource to the right pie, white color or white segment. All good? Yeah. So the hardcore takeaway is like you get the list of things that you may be interested later about the donor that you want to contact. So we have a lot of variables. Right now you may think about, wow, so complicated, what does that mean? So we provide you some free stuff. Can that be true? So we got a dashboard for you for free. The tools is free as well. So right now you can use it. So understand what the ideas that we are trying to go through right now. So on the left, you got the big dashboard. So you have the flexibility to try to segment or try to filter those variables that you want to. For example, I want to look at particular type of donor, and then try to go something further and further. And then you will have the flexibility to look up that donor. What's the contact detail of it? What's the likelihood of churn? What's the last donation date, and so on. But if you really want to process further, that means you need to contact the donor by using the contact details. You need to go one level down. When you click the donor, for instance like that, the dashboard will dynamically give you an other view is what's the donation history. So in terms of when you're authorizing it for free, then you can try to call the donor by using this dashboard to understand what they're doing at the back. Cool. And then we mentioned about like if we're trying to understand your donor in a better shape, and for future you try to target more people, then what you can do, we think about trying to use census as an example. So firstly, the blue graph gives you an idea for your penetration rate. So your dark blue in here is telling you those people are really heavily penetrated in those areas. And you can tell they are near around the national park from Blue Mountain and the Burraba National Park. So, okay, so that's near the 2 national parks. And with those locations, actually, those people with well-education background and come from like a baby boomer background will be those people located in there. So what we are trying to say is, given that we find out this characteristic, we're trying to find out those areas that have the same characteristic but with low penetration rate, and then we'll try to push further. So right now, the average penetration rate of those areas is 0.4%, and then for those areas that somewhere in here, we try to push them from red, from low penetration, to the green. So we try to push with the same characteristic. So for instance, if we try to find out the top 5 postcode with the same characteristic with low penetration rate, we try to target them and then push the penetration rate back to the average, 0.4. This is the dollar sign that we are targeting. So if we can identify those areas that you're interested in, which will help you to refine your marketing strategy to try to get a better ROI. So then, on top of the donation database, you also got a really rich rescuer database, which report a rescue from online and also offline channel. So we are trying to provide you a more detailed point of view for how you can understand those free tax themes. So Megan did a really good job for identifying those patterns. You can see like people always report cases during summer, and most of your cases are related to birds. So 50%, 56% from online and offline channel are reporting for birds. So that's also related to the season, right? Because it's summer, birds come in summer. And then, and they have slightly different pattern because like those people using online channel to report their cases, they mainly come from weekend. But even though, if they do it weekday, they have a really clear distribution around like before work and after work hours. And for callers, actually, it's the other way around. They mainly locate in the weekdays and then doing Wednesday, particularly on Wednesday. So something that we may not familiar with, but actually they can tell some story behind, and this dashboard you can take away as well. So this gives you an idea for what is the major species that you would like to investigate, and we also help you clean up the free text. So initially, now you have a lot of funny animal things. So what we did is we help you to clean it up and then have a refined list for you to have the name of the animals and also the species of the animal. Cool. So we talk about, during our conversation, we talk about dollar sign. So I'm trying to think about more ways to generate the dollar sign. So in terms of trying to use the reporter database, the first thing is we're trying to look up the characteristic that already well penetrated before by using census information. We try to look up the top 15 postcode from your reporter database. We only find out 68, but that makes sense because they're wealthy and well educated. That's why the average donation amount is high, 630. And if we can approach all of them, we are talking about 43K. And we want to find another way is, those are cold call. If we want to find out some warm one, how can we do is, we try to find out those area which report a lot of cases, but doesn't really donate much. So that means those people or those regions already well know what is wise, what they're doing, but can we try to push further for trying to increase the penetration in that postcode? So the yellow region is the one that we are trying to target to. So with those postcodes within your existing database, there are 502 people who did report a case, and more likely, you can push them to donate money. So on average, that postcode is around $50 roughly, then add up, you still get 69K. So up and down, right? Like you still get certain amount, which is relatively easy, given that they only know who you are. Cool. You mentioned about there will be data migration in future. So what we are trying to provide you from one of the experts in our team is, we provide you a ER diagram, which is trying to think about the big picture of the database that you may be interested to build in the future. And then this will be a good solution for you to at least use this as a reference, so you know where you're up to now, and then you're trying to build a bridge between the new infrastructure. Then the bridge will be something like that, because you will know how to transform your existing data. And then we talk about the data need to be clean before you migrate, and most of the team already help you did a lot of the jobs for cleaning the data, so a lot of data has been cleaned and well sit in the database. So in terms of nutshell, this is what we deliver, and I wish some of the items hit you. If you like anything above, anything from the slide, please let us know. And then we also prepare you a user guideline document to try to summarize everything that we have done and what the solution you can take away in Word document, and also provide you an Excel that can have all the lists that you may be interested in the slide that you can take away and try to approach the donor with the donor ID. So thanks for my team, then this is well prepared.